All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for hopping on and taking time out of your night to be with us. We have a super special um, speaker with us tonight, and we are going to just dive right into it. So tonight we are speaking with Kimberly Cain, and her story is absolutely amazing. And when I heard her story, it literally gave me chills. It brought tears to my eyes. I absolutely love her story. I'm so excited for her to share it with you guys. But just a couple of things. Please remember to turn your cameras on if you can. She has taken time out of her day and away from her team and family to spend time with us tonight. So we really want to give her all of our attention. And Kimberly, we just thank you so much for being with us. And if you see a bunch of O's in the chat, that's just our way of just giving you a round of applause. That's our way of cheering you on and just loving on you. So thank you again so much for taking time out of your day. We'll just jump right into it. If you just want to share your story with us tonight.
Yes. Hi, you guys. I'm so sorry that I'm driving. I'm going to be focusing on the road, but I'm like not far from home. So don't worry. I will be fully parked and light on so I can be looking at you. But I'm excited to see some faces. I appreciate you for having me on, and y'all can call me Kim. But my name is Kim Cain. I have been doing It Works now for, it'll be 8 years in November, which is totally crazy. So let me know if you guys can hear me, by the way. Just drop some ones because I'll see those quickly. But let me know that you can hear me and it's all good. But awesome. So I started It Works 7.5 years-ish ago, and I was 22 years old and was literally at the lowest moment of my life. That I mean, still to me, it was still the lowest moment I've ever been through. And that's because I was a 22-year-old brand new mom to a 1-month-old little baby who was the light of my life. And I wanted so much more. After having my kid, I realized I think I want to stay home. Like, it was taking him to, even though it was his grandma, I knew that eventually what would come was daycare because she couldn't do it forever. And the thought of that, like, I thought I'd be okay with it. I thought I'd be cool with it. And then I had him and I'm like, no, I'm not. But we were actually, so I was a 22-year-old brand new mom, and I was working 50 to 60 hours a week at a factory. And if you've ever worked at a factory, you're not paid enough and you're not valued at all. You're nobody to them. You're just there to make a couple car parts and call it a day. So I hated my job. I hated that I was working all the time. I hated that I was going to have to drop my son off eventually to daycare. And I didn't even like dropping him off to his grandma, but I had to do it. So I was also being evicted at the time that I joined this business. So I was going through just a whole lot of life. And on top of that, a big part of my story is that I was an atheist. So to go through that kind of life and have no faith, you don't even have that to rely on. And I didn't realize, like, oh, God is putting me through this for a reason. I didn't have any faith. So I was at a turning point. When I had my kid, I was ready for more, but I didn't know how I was going to get it. And let's backtrack just a second. I was about 6, 7, 8, 9, all through those months pregnant. I was 6, 7, 8, 9 months pregnant. And every month my friend Zach would ask me if I wanted to join his business. And I was like, no. The answer is no, and you know that, and I don't know why you keep asking me, and I'm going to block you, and I love you, so please don't make me do that. And at the time, I had like 300 Facebook friends, so I'm like, it's really no big deal for me to like get rid of you, okay? I don't have that many people. And he kept asking me, and I was like, bro, here's the thing. You got to have money to join the business. You know I ain't got no money. I'm being evicted. I hate my life. Like, don't do that. And I was such a negative person. That comes with being an atheist, by the way. You're just like, for me anyway, I was just a negative person. So I'm like, get out of my inbox. Don't ask me again. And then I had my son, and he asked me actually to come to a 1 Team 1 Mission event. And it was right here in my home. I live in Grand Rapids, Michigan. For those of you who don't know, I live in Grand Rapids. I'm not from here, but I live here. And I've been here the past 10 years. But at the time, I was still pretty new to Grand Rapids when he asked me, just a couple of years old into it. And he goes, come to this event and just put a wrap on. I would love to give you a free skinny wrap. And I'm like, bet. Yes, I haven't seen you. He's my brother, y'all. So I'm like, first of all, I haven't seen you in forever because he lived in Florida at the time. So I'm like, yes, you're in Grand Rapids. I just had Eric. He's a month old. I would love to put a wrap on my tummy. This works. I would love to see you and get some free stuff. Perfect. Okay. So I showed up to this 1 Team 1 Mission And I didn't know that he was getting me there, you know, he knew what he was doing. Y'all know when we get people to one teams, we're like, oh yeah, just come low key. We're like, you're gonna join my team. And so I went, and I was that ignorant person in the back of the room. Y'all, I had hair at the time, so it was like it was growing out on one side, not on the other. It was a hot mess. I was wearing a Duck Dynasty hoodie. I don't even like Duck Dynasty. Shout out to Sadie Robinson though, or whatever her name is. She's cool, but I didn't like Duck Dynasty. I don't know why I was wearing this hoodie. And I looked a hot mess, and I had my little baby on my arm, and I was super excited to try the rap, but I was that person in the back of the room that was talking the entire time. I didn't care what anybody was saying, especially when I heard that it was faith-based and that everyone there was giving the glory to God. It wasn't for me until this woman got on stage at the very, very, very end. So it took until the very end for me to like, and I hope I don't start breaking up because I'm getting into a bad area, but if I do, it'll be 2 seconds. But this woman got on stage and said, anyway, so now I'm making about a full-time income from my phone, and I just earned a bonus. And I'm like, hold up. Like, I've hated it up until now because who knows why. I was just being ignorant. I'm like, I wasn't really interested until that woman just said that. I'm like, wait a minute. What does she mean she's making a full-time income from home? This is not okay. I make not even hardly a full-time income at my factory job. This sucks. I hate my job. I want more. And y'all, this was God. And I was not looking for anything like this. I wasn't interested in it works. I wasn't interested in network marketing until that woman made a light bulb in my head go off. And I just realized, I looked at my kid and I looked at, Zach, and I was like, I think I'm going to try it. Like, I don't know I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm brand new to Grand Rapids. I don't have any friends. I graduated from an alternative ed a year and a half late, and I've never been at one school for more than a year or two. So I didn't have a bunch of friends. I didn't have like all these people that I could reach out to. And my family was immediately pretty unsupportive. So I didn't have all these people that I could be like, hey girl, like, me, I'm going to hook you. No, none of that. I didn't even know how to work social media, but I knew like, I'm going to join and I'm going to figure it out, because if that girl on stage can make a full-time income, why can't I? Like, not even that. I thought, let me just pay for gas and diapers, because when I was, when I was starting out, I was that person, and there's nothing wrong with being this person. Glory to God for like helping me in this season. But I was that woman who was 22 years old on food stamps and WIC and all the things that the government could help me with, because I didn't have enough money. And the only thing they didn't cover was diapers. And so I'm like, well, if this could at least pay for diapers and put some gas in my car, because at the time, I know my story is a little bit lengthy, but it's because I've been doing this a long time. So I'm almost done. But I said, if this could just put gas in my car so I could make it to work on Fridays, because I was that girl who didn't have direct deposit because I was always afraid of the government taking my money, because I had student loans, I had, all these things. And I was like, I'm gonna put my check in my bank account, or I'll cash that shit at the party store, because I'm not trying to put it in I'm not going to get direct deposit. So I was that person who was always like, I hope I make it to work on Friday so I can get my check and put it in my account. So I said yes just because of those two things. I thought if I could make $100, $200 a month, that would be really cool, and get some of the products. I know I want the products. And so I joined November 13th of 2013, and I said yes in that room that night. And so I went from complete like skeptic, I have no idea what you're talking about, to I want to try it. I think I want to give it a go. And so I joined that night in that room, and then I went to the factory, and I remember like I was so excited about the opportunity that I wasn't getting my work done. I was not hitting my quotas. I was not I didn't want to be there, because I saw the opportunity immediately. So I said yes to the business, and within 5 months I had replaced my full-time factory income, and I was making more doing this than the factory. So I left my job, and I remember my boss, he didn't care. He called me Stephanie when I left. He had no idea what my name was. So I left my factory job, and I was so excited just to have my hands on something that no one really has. I was like, I know people that'll want the skinny wrap, even if it's strangers. And I sold my first 4 wraps that came in my kit to a few women at a gas station, because I didn't have friends. I didn't have a huge launch party. I didn't have any of those things, but I knew that I was going to make this work, because if one person can, I can. So I, little old me went diamond in 5 months, and then I replaced, now, I'm triple diamond, and it's been such a blessing. But that's a little, and then I found God like 6 months into my business, and that has forever changed my life. I mean, if you follow my posts, you know I love Jesus more than I love anything. So that's a little of my story. And now I've got 2 babies, Eric and Lucy. They're 5 and 7, and I'm a full-time mom and a hustler, and I love life.
I absolutely love it. There are so many things that I could just speak on over everything that you just said. Like, there's so many things I can relate to. It's funny how when people are presented this opportunity and I know that I watched Alyssa on this opportunity like for years before
Yeah.
it just kind of finally clicked. But, you know, so I think it's interesting. There's a lot of people that don't want to start this because they don't have that many friends, or they don't have that many followers, or they don't have a supportive family. I don't have a supportive family. My mom buys from me. My brother calls it witchcraft stuff. Like I mean, I've been doing this for 2 years now, and my family still doesn't think it's real either. And I went to an alternative school too. I didn't have a bunch of friends. I hated school. I did not have a big following. I wasn't into social media. I wasn't into all that. I never took selfies before this. So it's interesting how this business can completely change everything for you. So I know that you kind of built a different way than most people build their business. You built a lot of belly to belly. So can you like tell people about that? I know I am super, like, it makes me really sweaty and like really nervous to even think about doing like belly to belly events. But share a little bit about how that worked for you.
Yes. So I'm finally home. So I'm going down to my office so that y'all can see me and we're sitting still. But yeah, I mean, and backtrack to the people not supporting you, who cares, right? And you just have to figure it out. You got to find people who do get it and who do like you. And it's hard for my family. I have a lot of weird family that honestly, they don't want to see me win because they're not winning. They're in their, some of them are in their 40s, 50s, and they still ain't winning. So they're like, what does she think she's doing? And so you're going to have unsupportive people. So for me, I didn't have a choice. I had to go find people that were, belly to belly, because I really didn't know how to work social media quite yet. And I didn't have this circle of people that was like, yeah, I'm here to support you. Let me get products. So I started to do wrap parties right away. I started to do launch parties, wrap parties, all the things. I still like to do them. I do a lot of coffee dates. And so I don't want to get into a whole training on that for you guys, but I do a lot of in-person stuff. I love connection. And if you knew me 7.5 years ago when I joined this business, people that do know me from that long ago are like, I literally can't believe like you say that. Cause I remember, to be completely honest, Joe, as my witness, he's been with me for 10 years, bless his heart. And I remember living in our apartments, and this woman came across the hall from me. She was visiting America from Australia. And she was like, you guys should come over for dinner sometime. And I was like, for sure, for sure. And then she came and knocked on my door, and I pretended like I had diarrhea. Like, I hated people. Y'all, I hated people. I was like, you can tell her anything you want, but I ain't going over there. I'm not knowing her. I don't want to know her. I did not have friends growing up, and I'm not exaggerating about that. So like, I'm not exaggerating. Like, I didn't have friends. I didn't want them. I didn't like people. And so I'm like, hell no, I don't want to go eat. No. It's awkward. And so when people hear me say today, like, it's all about connection and relationship, they're like, who is this? I'm like, a child of God who, like, he completely changed my heart. He completely changed who I am as a person. So I love that connection. So like, it's why as soon as COVID kind of started going away here in Michigan, what I mean by that is like the pandemic started to chill out, I looked for in-person workout classes, and I've been going, if you watch me in my stories, I am consistent AF at those classes. So, because for me, wherever the people are, I thrive, because we're humans. We're meant to be connected. We're meant to have conversations over the phone, through, in person. Let's go get coffee. Let's have a wrap party. So any way that you can grow your network is where it's at, y'all. I just signed a customer this past weekend from my gym. I've already enrolled 2 distributors from my gym, because I'm intentional. I'm not just showing up to the gym, being quiet and leaving. I'm showing up to the gym. I'm bringing my It Works blender bottle. I'm wearing my gear sometimes. Other days I wear this shirt that I don't even know like what it says, but and it's inappropriate. Probably I think my grandma bought it for me and I don't know why, but I'm intentional. So like I show up with my blender bottle. I show up with my, and when people say, what do you do? I'm like, girl, I've been with a health and wellness company for like 8 years. I'm not embarrassed. I'm not like, oh, I don't know. I mean, like, just tell people what you do. Be excited about it. When they ask what that is, girl, I sell a fat burning coffee. Like, I love what I do. I'm obsessed with what I do. And so then I'm adding everybody from my gym. And you guys, this goes for anywhere. If I hook up with a couple moms, like I did today, I went and met with 2 moms from my kids' schools, and we had like a play date with a bunch of kids, 6, 7 kids. And I added them on Facebook. One of them I wasn't even friends with yet on Facebook. And so we added each other on Facebook, and I know they'll comment on my host to post things that I post about. I know that it's coming. It's just what I do. You know, I'm not afraid to be like, hey girl, I see you viewing my stories. And, you know, and so I'm making those in-person connections, and you're getting to know me in person. And it's a wrap if you know me in person. You know, I'm real, you know, I'm normal, you know, I'm honest, you know that if I say I do what I do and I like it, I mean it. And so, yes, I love social media, and especially through the pandemic, y'all, it has been bomb. Okay. I'm not saying don't do social media. I love it. I love TikTok, Instagram, Reels, Facebook, stories. I love all of it. Post to post. But I love that in-person connection. So I just signed someone from my gym as a distributor just recently, and she is in person. She's local, obviously. So I said, we're going to do, my distributors don't have a choice if they're local. I don't make it like a can you or will you. It's you're having a launch party. You're getting your friends and family around, pick a date no further than a week from now. And I'm going to come and bring some of my products, and we're going to sip and sample, and we're going to sign some people. And you'll get a lot of like, if they're local, you guys, you're going to get a lot of, well, let me see what date works. And, you know, no. We're picking the date. Whoever can come can come. Whoever can't, that's okay. We'll meet up with them via Zoom one-on-one, or we can go get coffee with them, or we can do a second launch party, but we're setting one up because you're going to get to know me. You're going to get to know the products even more, and we're going to sign people on the spot. And we did it this past 4th of July weekend, and people came and supported. And you know, once you stop making excuses, you'll win. And so people are so quick to be like, oh, it's a 4th of July day weekend. I don't know that many people. No, get them together. I don't care if there's 3 people, we're doing it. I literally went triple by doing parties. It's just something I like doing. Yes, I did it through social media too. Yes. But I also did just a lot of coffee dates, a lot of parties, and people overcomplicate them. They think that I'm bringing 3 bags, and they think that I'm bringing fruits and vegetables and drinks and this and that and champagne and mimosa. I ain't doing none of that. My wrap bag is this right here, and I walk in with some of my products from my cupboard, and we literally mix them and sample them there. I even tell my host, can you go microwave some hot water for me? I keep it simple. And because I do that, it's duplicatable, and people are going, I think I could do that. So I bring 1 bag and I wrap it all back up in 1 bag, and then I leave. I'm in and out in an hour and a half, and I'm connecting with people, and I'm saying, hey, you're becoming a loyal customer or distributor because you don't have an option. And I kind of make it a joke. I'm kind of like, hey, what are you doing? Because I'm not leaving until you do something. And I'll laugh, and they're like, oh my gosh, okay, well. And I'm like, just pick one. Which one are you more interested in? Because I can either give you my discount, or we can give you my discount and you can make money with me. So any way that you can, I don't care if you're mostly social media, that's great. But you know, if something works, try it, try it. So if you're like, hey, I am talking to this girl who is local to me, get outside of your comfort zone, put on some deodorant, put on your big girl panties, and ask them if they want to meet up for coffee. You're going to sweat. You're going to be like, oh my God, my stomach hurts, but you're going to do it. And you're gonna be like, I'm so glad I did that. I felt good to connect with that woman. God made us to connect. God made us to get together. Not only is it a reason for me to just get to know, right? We're out here to tell our story. Why do you think people at church are always like, let's meet up for coffee. I want to hear your story. We all have a story. I think it's important that we share it with as many people as we can. And so I love getting to know people, but I also love being like, this is what I do. And if I just love networking, I love networking. If you go back all the way to Eric Worre in the 1990s, he was actually the first network marketing book I read or listened to. And Eric Worre talks about how back before social media, he would literally add 2 people to his list every day. And that for us meant like blitzing, or but for him, he was blitzing. He was asking people to stay in connection with him. And, you know, GoPro, yes, by Eric Worre. And he was adding 2 people to his list every day. Y'all, we can do that really quick. I mean, through social media now, it's like 15 people a day, 20 people a day. But so that's my goal still to this day, because network marketing is about networking and not net wishing. You got to work for it. You got to work, and you have to meet people, and you have to be bold and get outside of your comfort zone and do things that you never saw yourself doing. If you want, everything that you want lies outside of your comfort zone. And I knew that immediately, that I didn't love where I was. And so I actually hated where I was. Besides having a brand new baby and a loving spouse, like, I hated my life, my circumstances. I hated that we were constantly being dealt these cards and stuff was being turned off. And, you know, lights, I'm talking lights, water, heat, like our stuff would get turned off all the time. Cable, internet, not a big deal. It was always turned off. And we were being evicted, and my back was against a wall. And I said, shoot, if I have to get out there and talk to a couple random ass people in front of people and mix up some stuff for them to try while I'm there to be successful, I'm gonna do it. I've done some pretty crazy things before it works to make money. And not like that. That sounded horrible, but y'all know what I mean. Like, we've worked jobs that we hate. We have worked jobs that we hate. Why not go do something that might be a little bit fun? Yeah, you're gonna sweat and be nervous, but like, go try it. Go try it. That's how I grew all the way to double and triple, was through just like, I would do a wrap party and then I would book parties from that party. It's like post to post, but it's in person, and they get to see your energy, and you get to seal the deal now, and you get to talk now and in person. And it just feels good to rub shoulders and rub elbows with people and get to know them on a different level. And you grow this different kind of relationship, you know, because it's harder. It's more likely that someone quits on a business, but not on a friend. And so I love getting to know my people, and just sometimes we don't even get together for it works. When I'm celebrating my Dirty 30 in August, and it's about to be lit, and so many people are coming from my team, and I ain't gonna talk nothing about it works. We're just gonna have a blast. We're just gonna have fun. August 12th, I'm a Leo, but can you tell? So we're gonna have fun, and it's gonna have nothing to do with the business and everything to do with having fun and being friends, because I want to create connection with my team. At the end of the day, people stay when you feel connected. So that's a little bit about how I've done in-person things. Get people to OTOMs, try events, use all of the things. We've got so many tools available to us to just get outside of your comfort zone and do something with those things.
Yes, I went to a wrap party a couple of weeks ago, and it wasn't even one that I was hosting. It wasn't for my team. It was for a friend that I actually met. I went to the Winter Circle and I met this girl, and we've become really good friends. And she was having one while we were staying the weekend with her, and we went up there, and just the people, I mean, I was nervous going there for her, but just the people that I met and just talked to, the relationships, just learning different things about different people. You just learn so many things. You hear so many great stories. You just meet the best people. So I love that. I know that there's one of the girls on my team and I are about to do a wrap party. So I'm excited about it, but I just love hearing how you've built your business and how you've built your following. So I know that you've got kids. When you started this business, you had a newborn and you worked 60 hours a week. You were just super, super busy. So I know that there's so many people on this team that have so much life going on all the time. They have kids, they have jobs, they have family, they have just all the different things. So when you first started, how did you stay motivated and excited to work this business after coming home from working all day and having a newborn and having all this stuff and just, being exhausted? How'd you stay motivated and excited and balance all of that?
Yeah, I love that question. And yeah, Alyssa, yep, she's right. We can chat about rap, you guys can too, but they're fun. If the more simple you keep them, the more duplicatable and the more just fun. Don't make it complicated. Because then you're making other people go, that's cool that she can do that, but I'm not interested in that. So yeah, when I first started, that's why when people come to me and they're like, I don't have the time or the money or the experience, I'm like, you're missing the whole point. You're missing the whole point. I don't ask people because I want to take up your time. I'm asking people to join my team because, girl, I've been there. I've been the person that's like, I don't have time. I don't have money. I don't have friends. I don't have experience, but I want all those things. Like what you don't have, you can get. Like, I hate that excuse. That's why it's really hard for me. And sometimes I have to like tuck away my attitude problem when people are like, oh, I don't have time. I'm like, what did you think I had? What did you think I had but I had to hold my tongue. I'm like, oh my God, I know, I totally get it. And so we have to like get on their level and be like, oh my God. I'm like, I'm not asking you because I think you sit on your couch and watch TikTok all day. I'm asking you because like busy people get things done. And a lot of people, work jobs that they might love, but it's about all they do. And they're like, man, I just wish I had a little bit of extra time, but I love the money that I make. You never know what someone's going through. I've had people join my business because they want friends and they're like, you just look so happy. You never know what people are going through or what they need in their time in their life. So just like be aware of that. But when I first started, I just knew that like I hated my job. I hated my job. I'm reading some of the comments, but I hated it so much that when I would come home, I'm like, all I thought about all day was the fact that like, you guys, if one person can do it, it's been proven about anything. If one person can do it, guess what? You can too. So I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I didn't even know anybody. Obviously I was brand new. I didn't know anybody. In fact, I passed my upline. He has since quit. He's never went above Ruby, I don't think. And he's been gone. And I saw an opportunity to just make my own money on my own time. And I was like, I've never had that. So when you're that excited about something, like I want you to really think about why you're doing this business. Why are you doing it? No one's forcing you. I don't have an upline. No one checks in on me every day and says, how you doing? You getting your stuff done? I motivate my own self. My dream board stares at me every day. So do my kids. And I'm completely unemployable now that I've had a taste of the freedom and lived it for almost 8 years. So in the comments, I dare you to tell me, like, why did you join? Okay. So when I would think about why I joined, I was excited to work my business. In fact, I'm reading right now, I'm reading High Performance Habits. And I love it so much that I've started it over again. And my phone's at 10%. Anyway, I'm reading it a second time because it's so good. And he talks about people who are obsessed with what they do. And I'm like, that is so funny. I literally say, I'm obsessed with what I say that all the time. I don't even love what I do. I'm obsessed with what I do. I love it, love it, love it, love it. And it's a healthy obsession, right? So I wish I could read all those, but I want you to really think about like, why did you get started? Okay. Doesn't that make you want to get to work? When it's something that's fun, like what we do is fun. So I would come home from working 12-hour, sometimes longer days than that, because I'm not kidding you when I would say, like, my boss would look at me and be like, Kim, you're staying. Not can you? It was like, you're staying. Like, you have to. If you walk out, like, you're getting written up. And I'm like, are you kidding? I have a 1-month-old, I have a 2-month-old, I have a 3-month-old. Like, are you kidding me? And so when I would leave there, when I would work my business, it was like I was fighting for more. It wasn't like I was like, oh my God, I'm so tired. Now I got to work my business. We get to create a life that we truly are praying for because of this business. I don't know anywhere else that you can make $10,000, $20,000 a month by putting in a few hours a day. Excuse me. And you get to decide when you're doing that. And I decided I wanted to join a gym that has these wacky freaking class hours, but I love it. So I'm working my business around it. And and it's summertime and both my kids are home and I'm working my business around them. I work when I'm able. I work every day except Sundays, but where else can you do that and make that much money? I'll wait. Where you actually love what you do and still have time freedom. I'll wait. So I knew that coming home from the factory, like, yeah, I was tired, but I was way more tired of being tired. So you have to pick a hard. Some of y'all just got lazy mentalities. It's all it is. And it's like, I keep it real because I've been doing this too long. So just be real with yourself. Some of y'all are like, oh my gosh, I don't feel, okay, but what would you rather? What would you rather? Because I knew that if I could put in about an hour a night after my kid went to bed, because he went to bed, he's always, guess what? My kids are 5 and 7, still go to bed 8:30 every single night. And even in the beginning, I slept trained my kids at a month old, say something about it. And so they've gone to bed at 8 p.m. like their whole life. And so I would come home, I would be so exhausted and we'd do dinner routine, bedtime routine, bath, all that stuff.
And then I would stay up, even though I so badly wanted to go to sleep. But I knew that if I stayed up and I did things that most people won't, I would have things that most people don't. And my family was like, no, you did not replace your income. You're lying. Like, all of a sudden you start to show people you can have more. People are like, what do you mean I can have more? I don't have to put my dreams on hold. No, I know it's crazy. I know it's nuts, but what do you want? Why do you want it? And what's going to stop you? Just make the freaking decision. Okay, you're tired of what? Tired of it works? Or you're tired of your other job? You're tired of constantly being dry and just exhaust. Like, what are you actually tired of? Because I promise you, it's not this business. You give this business a minute of your time, you'll be so happy that you did. So I would give it like an hour a night. And all of a sudden, because I was consistent with making sure, I mean, I would be on my lunch breaks and I would be messaging people to come with me to OTOMs, and because back then it was a lot more belly to belly. So I would be asking people come with me, and I mean, I didn't even know them. They were just from Grand Rapids, and I was growing my network. And so, yeah, I mean, you just have to decide what you want, why you want it, and what, dream of. I want you to visualize the life that you want to be in. Don't think about where you're at right now. And if you love where you're at right now, great. But if you don't love where you're at right now, visualize the life that you want, and then just know that It Works is that vehicle. Y'all, I do makeup too, but that's because I want to. And the other day I was having a conversation with someone, and I was like, even if, like, I would never, this is what I do. It Works is my feet are planted, my roots are, this is my home, this is my family. But let me just make an example for you guys. If I decided, I think I want to do makeup full time. Okay. I could probably make a lot of money if I do a whole lot of faces, if I have this huge clientele, and if I'm never home. So as much as I love doing makeup, okay, I'm glad it can be a little side hustle thing though, because I wouldn't want to do it full time. Like, you might, like, I love doing makeup, but I would have to trade a lot of time for money. No, thank you. So where else can you really, I've thought about it for 7.5 years, and I'm like, nope, this is still it. This is not, I've never thought about leaving. Don't get it twisted. I didn't say that. I just have thought, like, man, we are so blessed. Like, we are genuinely so blessed to have an opportunity where our work ethic writes our paycheck, and we don't have to miss a moment. So instead of having that lazy mentality, figure out what you want. Make sure you're giving yourself the time of day at first thing in the morning. Fill your cup first, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. And then give this business all you've got. Post, message, follow up, and grow your network every single day after your personal development. And watch what happens, but not if you ain't consistent. Don't come to me talking about, I spent a year and I'm not diamond. Well, yeah, you work your business 1 day a week. You're making hobby money, girlfriend, because you're doing hobby things. But if you decide to make this a business, and you decide, I'm going to post, message, follow up, grow my network, get over myself, stop caring what people think, they don't pay my bills, they've never bought my groceries. If you start to do those things, you will be successful, but you have to be consistent. If you go to the gym and you lose 10 pounds and you decide not to show up to the gym anymore, and you walk in, you look at the owner and you're like, I gained my 10 pounds back, he's gonna be like, well, duh, I ain't seen your ass. You have to show up for anything that you want. Period. You want your kids potty trained? Stop putting them in a pull-up. 2 days after, quit doing it. You want them potty trained, put them in underwear, get them on the toilet, and don't ream them when they have an accident. You just start over. You want something? Work for it. Be consistent. And so with my business, even in my highs and in my lows, because y'all, I've had lows, I've lost ranks, but that's a me thing. That's a me problem. It's not a team problem. I had to check my faith. I had to check my faith temperature. I had to get my goals back on track. I had to start believing in me a little more. Sometimes you got to up that belief, and you have to start giving your business to God. When I truly give my business to God and let him have it, he does things that are like insane. So you just have to decide. When you have 1 foot in, 1 foot out, you'll always have a half-assed business. And if you always have an escape route, you'll always have a half-assed business. So you have to be in. I'm not saying you need to quit your job today and do this full time. I'm saying you just have to decide that this is it, that this is going to be, if you want it to be a couple extra $100 a month, perfect. But you still got to have both feet in to make it, or else you're always going to be disappointed. So, I don't know where I was going, but yeah, that's
I love it. You are just fire. This is just, I know that everybody is just loving this. But I love what you said about if you have one foot in, one foot out, you're always going to have a half-assed business. Like that is so true. And
Mhm.
I remember whenever I started this business, I had a bookkeeping business on the side, and that's where my income came from. And I was so over it. I was so just not fulfilled. I hated it. And I remember telling Alyssa one morning, I messaged her and I was like, I just fired my biggest client and I don't know what I'm going to do because like I got to make this work. And I just remember her saying something like, you know, if you get comfortable being uncomfortable, you'll just be stuck where you are. Like you're just going to, people get comfortable being uncomfortable. And if you always have that backup plan, then you're never going to go 100% in this business. So I just really think that it's important for people to understand that, like you said, if you're treating this like a hobby, it's going to pay you like a hobby. You have to treat it like a business if you want it to pay you like a business. So I don't know how much time we have you for, but I know that one really big question that I personally wanted to ask you, I know that like in your past you were an atheist, and I know that like you didn't have that faith in God. And in the beginning of your business, I listened to one of your Zooms that you did previously, and you said that you just thought that personal development was a joke. Like you thought you could do this all on your own. You thought that, you know, you didn't need all of that. And I thought the same thing. I did not do any personal development in like the first 5 or 6 months of my business, and I thought I could just do it all. And that does not work ever. So I know there's a few books that like right now I'm reading Think Like a Monk, and I've got a few other ones. Oh, hang on.
I'm so sorry. Hold on.
Did she leave?
No, my phone was gonna die, so I had to get on my laptop. That's what I was doing. I'm sorry. I'm here. Keep
Okay.
going.
That's okay. So just kind of tell us how you came to believe in personal development and how important it is to your business and to like this business in general, because I know some people kind of like think that it's silly and they don't take it seriously, and it really is such a big part of being successful in this business.
It is, and I'm so sorry, y'all, for being, I literally am like, okay, let me get in my house. Okay, let me put my phone up. Okay, now let me get on the Zoom because now my phone's gonna die. So anyway, I'm usually like full attention. So pardon me, but
You're fine.
I appreciate it. So okay, with personal development, when I joined, first of all, when I say like I was an atheist, I mean that like I was moments away from having upside down crosses tattooed on my feet. Okay. So, and I would make fun of people that believed in God. I would literally outwardly, like my friends would say to me, if she walked into a church, she'd burn on fire. Like it was a joke. It was, you know, I was an atheist and I was proud of it. So and the reason I'm saying that is because my best personal development is spending time with God. And so if you are filling your cup with positive things, it's kind of like you're putting on a shield and armor, a Christ, you know, a Holy Spirit shield and armor, because we live in, I could go on about this topic for 10 years, so I'll try to make it short. We live in a world that is very fleshy, and where the devil tries, y'all, he's going to, you know. I'm going to make her an example just because I love examples, but my sister is, and my team knows this, but my sister is 65 days sober from meth and heroin. And she often wonders, and she's only 21, and she often wonders, and she was struggling for years, and she constantly comes to me for advice because she knows I'll be positive and I'll refer her back to the Bible. I'll refer her back to the word and what is truth. And so when we talk, I'm like, you know, I want you to know that I hate that you had to go through this, but man, the devil had you. He did. And it's okay, because now God's got you. He always had you. He was always whispering sweet nothings into your ear. He was always praying. He was always asking you to come back, and you finally did, but the devil had you for a long time. And so the reason I'm saying that is because no, not all of us on here are her in that kind of crazy, heavy predicament, but the devil is going to try to have you. He just is. It's just especially when we're about to have a story of glory, he's like, let me step in. He tells his demons, get out of my way. I'll handle this myself. She's too bold. She loves Jesus. She's bringing people to him. And that's my enemy. So you have to understand that we live in a until we're in God's kingdom for the rest of eternity, right? We live in a very fleshy world where the devil is constantly on attack. He ain't got nothing better to do. He's a loser. So he's constantly on attack. So when you don't put on your shield and armor on a daily basis, it's a lot easier for him to slip in. So why are you trying to do anything in this life without God? I can't fathom it. And I did life for a long time without him. That shit sucks. Bad. You cry every day, you're anxious, you feel empty, you feel defeated, you feel depressed, you feel like, why do I feel this way? Because you've never, ever, ever given your life truly to God. And when I say every day I wake up and put my shield and armor on, I mean that, because we are moms, we are humans, we are friends, we are business owners, we are people. How can you do anything good when you don't feel right? And so make sure anything, that's like asking me to wake up and be a mom, but I ain't had my keto coffee. Excuse me, give me 1 minute. Let me take my confianza or I'm gonna beat some children. It's just how it is, right? But when you do life, I need God in all circumstances, not just some, all of it. You can have it all. Take it. I don't want it. This burden is not mine to carry. So if you feel some type of way in your business, you've got to make sure that you are, in fact, when people recommend personal development to me, I'm going to be honest. I'm like, does it have scripture in it anywhere? Like, is he Christian? And they're like, yeah, cool, I'll read it. Because I need it to be personal development, but also please give me the word. I need both because I need scripture and I need someone telling me I can do all things. Like, I need those two things together. And that's okay if you don't, but how are we expected to do anything at full max potential if we're not even pouring into ourselves? Your brain and your heart are so important. Like, everything you want, you can have, but you have to see it before you believe it. And the way that you're going to see it you have to believe it before you can see it, is what I meant to say. And in order for that to happen, you've got to visualize. You have to be equipped. I can't put it into words, but when I started, I was like, I'm just going to go diamond on my own. I don't need to read. I don't need to, why are people doing that? That can't be like a real thing. And so I did, I went diamond in 5 months, but it fell apart and I was not a good person. I was not a good leader because I wasn't willing to learn how to be a good leader. I just thought I had it all, I had it all. And, but my life was so broken before it works. And y'all, I grew up with 8 siblings. I grew up in homeless shelters. I grew up in 2-bedroom trailers. I grew up with a very poor, single mom. And, so how am I expected to be this badass beach when I've gone through all that? Excuse me, you have a lot of work to do. We all have a lot of work to do. Some of us have been through different past traumas. If we want to change our stinking thinking, we have to learn from people who have it going on. Don't expect to be a millionaire if you're not taking advice from millionaires. Like, you have a lot of work to do, but those trials and tribulations that you've gone through are to make you better. So dive in. Like, when I was going through the eviction, when I was not sure where we were going to live, when I was not doing well, when we were poor and I was running out of gas on the highway home from work, I was mad then, but now I see what God was doing. And I'm like, thank you for that powerful testimony, because without it, I don't know that I'd be who I am today. And without my son, I don't know that I ever would have found God. But when I saw him, I thought no one else could have done this for me. And he's that beautiful. You have to want more. So don't be upset about where you've been. Think about where you're going, but you need to be equipped, and you can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. Just like if you've been through something, go seek counseling, right? You seek a counselor, you go talk to somebody, a stranger, because you need help. So if you have goals to be this amazing leader or this just incredible business owner and this recruiter, it starts with belief. And sometimes you have to let other people pour that into you, because it's hard to get and have all on your own. And it's really hard to keep, because again, we live in a fleshy world where the devil is always up in our business. It's just a thing. And so when you feel like you've been attacked, it's even more important that you open up a book, or like I'm reading High Performance Habits right now for the second time in a row. Get a devotional that you can read. that you can read daily that just pours into you for even 5 minutes. Journal, pull up journal prompts on Pinterest and just visualize the life that you want and how you want to feel for the day, and just watch what happens. You can't do this business without personal development. If you do and you are successful, it won't be for long. It won't be for long. It'll be it won't be lasting. It'll be something that comes and goes as quick as it did, because you aren't working on being the best you that you can be. And when you aren't bringing your best self to every table, no one is going to want to sit with you. So you have to be the best version of you every day, for your kids, for your spouse, for your team, and especially for you. Why do you think, it's why I work out and I eat well? Because it's proof. It's been proven that those people are happier. And I don't know about y'all, but this cute little life we get here on earth, I want to be happy AF the whole time. No one messes with my energy. I stay away from even family that gets on my nerves. Sometimes I'm like, Ma, you gotta go. I'm glad y'all live an hour and a half away, because I get to determine who stays in my bubble. And so every week, just invite those good people in, invite those good vibes, pray specifically over what you want, not just in your life, but in your business and your relationships, and watch what he does, because the weapon is formed, but it don't gotta prosper. So just make sure that you're pouring into you, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. It's why when you're on a plane, they say, you put the mask on. And you're like, oh my God. Well, yeah, because you can't take care of nobody. If you can't breathe, your kids are going to be out. You got to make sure you're breathing first so that you can save everybody else around you. You have to. It's why we go to church, because I don't know about y'all, but I needed to learn more about my Lord and Savior. I knew nothing about him, right? So you go to church and you learn. Same with anything else. Learn more about yourself. I just started really figuring out who I was, in my late 20s, the things that have held me back, my fears. It's important that we write down. I used to try to avoid that. I'm like, fear is a liar, running out of breath. And that's true, but you need to recognize them, write them down, acknowledge them, say, thank you for making me stronger. And thank you for making me who I am today. I appreciate, my inner bully helping me to become my best self, but you're dismissed. And sometimes you have to release those fears on a daily basis, because we're so programmed from childhood to think that we can't be rich, we can't have abundance, we can't have healthy relationships, we're not worthy, we cannot be loved. We're literally programmed to think those things from birth sometimes. And so letting go of that is going to be hard, but it's a battle that you can win if you work on it daily, every single day.
Oh my gosh, I could listen to you talk all day. You are just amazing. I know that we are getting ready to wrap up right now, so just 1 second.
Mhm.
Okay, so I just want you to give us your biggest tips for organization, your biggest social media tips, your biggest enrollment tips. Just send us off with some more fire than you've already given us. And just give us some of your most favorite tips that you like to share with your team.
Yeah, so at the end, this will be quicker, because sometimes we don't need the here's what to do. We need the here's why you can do it. This business truly is 90% mindset and 10% skill. I promise you that. We all know what to do. It's just that we're in our own heads when we do it. We're thinking that person's going to say no before we even send the message. We're already telling ourselves we can't be that leader, so why ask that person? Why try to grow a team when I don't even think I'm capable of leading them? You're talking so much shit to yourself throughout the day. You literally, to yourself. Now I want you to imagine if someone came up to your kid and said half the things you say to yourself. I'd punch them. I would punch them right in the face. So you know what you need to do. It's reprogramming your mind to not be such a rude person to yourself. Oh, they won't. But as far as organization and things like that go, you guys just have to decide when you wake up, what am I getting done today? You'll see me for 7.5 years. I have pulled out a planner, and I have I've always had a weekly and a monthly planner that shows me both. And it's because your short-term wins lead to long-term success. So when I'm looking at my weekly, don't get too ahead of yourself. That's when you're anxious about, where did I see it? Depressed is when you're thinking about your past. Anxious is when you're thinking about your future, right? So I try not to look too far ahead, but I do love to see my month at a glance. And what am I up to this month? Where can I delegate my time? Think like a CEO. think like a CEO. Where can I, okay, I know I'm busy, but am I someone who makes excuses or am I someone who makes money? You can have one, not both. They cannot coexist. So it's like, I look at my monthly view and I'm like, okay, I have a lot going on. I have a play date here. I have swimming here. I have haircuts here. I have this here. I'm working out at this time, 4 or 5 days a week. Holy guacamole. But busy people get things done. It's literally proven that if the more busy you are, especially working out, eating healthy, just having fun with friends and family, you're actually more productive. So and that's truth. Every time I promoted, it was when I was like in the gym, like working out a lot. It's crazy. So it's real. It's a thing, but you have to look at your month, be for real with yourself. Look at your month and say, okay, this is where I have a lot of things going on. So where can I delegate time to work my business at least 1 or 2 hours? Is it in the car, a couple, like 20 minutes before you go into your workout? So I leave my house early all the time to go work out. And Joe knows, like, I'm leaving this early because I'm going to go work for a minute. I'm going to post that TikTok. I'm going to share to my story. I'm going to make a post. I'm going to reach out. I'm going to send 10 distributor messages or 20 loyal customer messages, or I'm going to go ask for 10 host to post. You just have to sit down and do it. It's literally it's so simple. It's just that most of us are in our own heads, literally telling ourselves why we shouldn't, why we can't, why we're not, and we're just scaring ourselves. But you know what to do. So like look at your month at a glance and then go to that weekly, and maybe it's in your phone. Yes, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. I do that all the time because I have ADD really bad. I was diagnosed at 17 with off the charts ADD. So it's really easy for me to get on TikTok to post something and forget that I was doing it and get caught up for an hour on TikTok. So easy. I'm like, oh yeah, I was posting a video. That's right. So you guys have to set, like, I know my girl Amber's on here. She sets timers and you have to be specific. Okay, for 10 minutes, I'm just going to bust out distributor messages. And in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to ask for host to post. And then for the next 10 minutes, I'm going to write up a post. Okay, now I'm going to go work out. You were just more productive than most people. It's just that most people are too afraid to hit send. That's all it is. Literally. Or they're like, I swear I'm working my business. Why don't I see results? Because you're doing it 1 day a week. Like if you really pull out your list of how many people you're talking to, I promise you, it's like 2 or 3 at the end of the day, because you really aren't doing, you're doing busy work, but you're not doing the behind the scenes productivity things that you need to be doing on a daily, 6 days out of the 7 of the week, right? Because I take a Sabbath on Sunday. So I get so much done during my 6 days and I'm productive. So I can say, okay, and I always take my Sabbath, whether I've had a great week or not, because God is good and he is real and he gets that day no matter what. But I feel even better when I'm like, oh, I have had such a productive 6 days. So make yourself proud. You know what to do. It's just believing that you can do it. And girls, stop being picky about who you're messaging. And the more time you spend like prejudging, getting into people's pockets for them, you don't know what their pockets look like. Get out of their bank account. Stop prejudging. If you would have saw me 7.5 years ago, I promise none of you would have asked me to join your business. None of you. You would have been like, nope, next. I'm good. My post alone would have scared you away. So you wouldn't have asked me. But when you stop, guys, I just hit send. I lovingly stalk them on Facebook and Instagram real quick, so I'm not just in their inbox, right? And then I hit send. Just hit send. Open up, y'all. We have to quit overcomplicating it. You would be shocked how many people say, yeah, I'm open to more info. What? Wait a minute. And then you're like, oh crap. Oh crap. They're open to more info. What do I say? Just say the things. You cannot say the wrong thing to the right person. You can't. I am proof of that. Okay. And I've asked a lot of people that, I didn't know what I was talking about, but they joined me and they were successful because I was just teaching them the steps to success. Y'all cannot overcomplicate this. The second you make this not duplicatable is the second people quit before they even get started. And some people still will anyway. Okay. It's not your job to convince people to stay or to work, but the more time you spend prejudging before you hit send is time that you could have spent like sending out those messages and getting those yeses and having people go. And you're going to get people who say no, but honestly, I say this to my team all the time. When I was new in this business, I got a lot of like, no, leave me alone, because I wasn't doing it right. But now, because I am authentically me, 100, God didn't make you to be me. He did not make you to be Alyssa. He did not make you to be Lauren. So baby girl, quit. You're not supposed to be those people. And that's why you are upset with, that's why you're unhappy, because you're not even being you. Stop it. Be yourself in your posts, in your stories. I cuss, get over it. You don't like it, go somewhere else. So be yourself. always authentically you. And then when you are making those authentic posts, whether about it works or not, you're going to get a lot of love because you're shining bright like you should be and you're attracting the right people. So then you're messaging those people who are liking, commenting, viewing, and they feel like they already know you. It's not weird. It's not cold because there's nothing cold about that. They already like you. They've said that through showing you love in your stuff. So then when you go and you message them, the no's won't even be mean. They're not even like, no, leave me alone. I've literally, all the no's that I get are, oh my gosh, no, thank you. But man, I love watching you. Cool. I can handle that. That doesn't even bother me. That does not bother me because I'm busy interacting on my newsfeed and making people feel loved and appreciated and heard and like in my posts, just in my posts and in my stories. So when I message them, there's nothing weird about it. They don't feel like, oh God, what is this person doing in my inbox? They're just like, no, thank you, but I love watching your stuff. Maybe one day. And then the yeses are even better. You're going to get so many people that are like, I am interested actually. And you're like, oh crap. Okay. When I get out of the gym, I'll message you all right back because I'm so busy getting yeses. It's so much fun. And when you get host to post, like, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. I had a girl try to follow me, but I had someone from my gym post for me. It was about my giveaway. So it was like, hey, my friend Kim is giving away $100 this month, you know, spell your name backwards for an entry. And this girl did. So I added her and I said, hey girl, saw your comment. If you put a post up for me, I'll put you into my drawing. So she put up a TFXX host to post for me. This new girl, this random girl that I just added. And she goes, wait, what is this product? And I'm like, let me tell you about it. So she became a customer immediately. She was like, I think I want to try it, you know? So she texted me, I upsold her. And then I asked her, hey, last but not least, do you want to join my team and make money with me before I place your order? And she was like, tell me more about it. Y'all, just ask the question. Just ask the question. Stop being afraid. Stop being afraid of what people think. I promise you, like when I go to the gym and these girls don't want to wear their sports bra, because even though they're sweating, I'm like, girl, take your hoodie off. They're like, no, I'm wearing a sports bra. Girl, these people are too worried about what they look like to care about what you look like. I promise you, who cares? I promise you, no one's looking at you like, did this girl just inbox me? They're too worried about what people think of them to think about what people think of you. Like, I promise you. So just get in people's inbox. Just ask people, because the worst thing that can happen is they're like, no, thank you. You didn't die. You're still here today. You're fine. And you're going to get yeses and you're like, I'm so glad I did this. I'm so glad that I believed in myself and just pressed send. Post, message, follow up, and grow your network and do your personal growth every single day. And I promise you, before you know it, if you're consistent with that, an hour or two a day, 6 out of 7 days a week, yes, Alyssa, you nailed it. You're going to be diamond and above in no time. In no time. I promise. You just have to be consistent with that.
Yes, Cami Pentecost says all the time, it's not our job to worry about whether people say yes or no. It's our job just to share what we have and just to ask. So I absolutely love that. You just have to ask. The more no's you get, the more yeses you're going to get. So just keep asking, keep sharing. I want to thank you so, so much for taking time out of your day and taking time away from your family and your team to share with us and to pour into us. We absolutely loved every second of it. I know that I could listen to you talk for 6 more hours, but we're gonna hop off of here and let you get back to your family. But we truly, truly appreciate all of your time, and that was just absolutely amazing.
You're so welcome, you guys. And they're sleeping, so don't worry about it. They're literally all sleeping. So but this was fun, you guys. And last but not least, be present in whatever you do. I think that could be my biggest tip is just please be present in everything that you do, or else you'll get upset. Work your business, work your business. You're with your family, do that. Don't try to, just do that. Be happy. Life is good. It gets to be fun. It gets to be easy. It gets to be a blessing. Don't make it not, So this was a lot of fun. And I'm thankful that you had me on. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And hopefully we hear from you again soon.
Yeah, for sure. You guys, bye. Have a good night.
Bye.